or another. Are we not?
Welcome back to Today. Today we're jumping into the Night Stalker, the hunt for a serial killer. I love how I put the in front of Night Stalker. It's just Night Stalker, Andres. Just Night Stalker. I'm ready to jump right into this reaction, guys. Come in for a legendary reaction. Ooh, I like that. Where did that come from? I don't know. Guys, before we jump into this reaction though, please hit that like button. Please share. We are on the road to 10K. So hitting that like button is a freebie right now. Everybody just hit that. Everybody just hit that like button. It is free for you and me. You don't like that song? Cool. I'm ready to jump right into this, guys. I am on the road to 10K. I do need your guys' help, so please hit that like button. It does a lot for the channel. It does a lot for the reaction as well. Comment down below about what you guys think about this reaction as well. I'd love to read you guys' comments. I'm ready to jump into this reaction. We will be getting into Don't Beat with Cats. That is going to be another one of our true crime shows. I will be adding into other true crime shows as well as we go through the whole life that I am going to be on YouTube. So I'll probably just add in some other few crime stuff as well, or even just documentary series that I do see that is going to be on Netflix, because I love Netflix. They really don't mind reactors using their material because they listen to copyright laws, and I really do love that. So we're going to continue to jump into Netflix, and if they ever see this and they want to hire me, I am free. I am available. I'm ready to jump into this, guys. This is going to be a full reaction from my second and third tier here on the YouTube platform, as well as the other platform, Patreon. So guys, please sign up to one of those platforms and please help support the channel today. Now I'm a reactor. It is time to react to things. Let's jump into Night Stalker and find out exactly what this show has got to give.
No dice nada,
Dice
y al mismo
nada.
tiempo que el viento que esconde el agua, una mirada no dice nada, lo dice todo, como la lluvia, un tesoro.
These are all the people.
Como la lluvia, algún tesoro.
The angel of death is still very much alive.
So we got two of our officers and stuck them in the dental office, and one of the executives from my department thought that we were wasting money. We get Los Angeles Police Department to put one of their robbery alarms inside the dental office. The doctor called me up about 10 o'clock that night and says, "Where were you? Why didn't you come?" Richard had been in there that day, and the alarm malfunctioned or wasn't wired properly. It didn't go off.
Wow.
So we missed him.
Again.
I could, in my mind, every single day walk through that house. My grandmother was a sports fanatic, and my grandfather was salt of the earth. He would keep boxes of full-size candy bars. I remember that there was a series of crimes that had happened.
83-year-old Mabel Bell is beaten to death. Her invalid sister survives.
Hey, Grandma, you've got to lock your doors. There's this creep that's breaking into people's houses. We're from the Midwest. Sorry, I don't want to live like that. I don't want to live where I have to lock my doors.
July 20th. Oh my God, that's 2 years before I was born. 1985.
My father was a Seventh-day Adventist, and my mother usually went to church with him. Started calling the house to tell him I might be a few minutes late, and I was getting no answer. I hadn't got an answer. There was just something inside me that I knew something was wrong. I noticed the pool gate was open, and they never left the gate to the pool yard open. I went through that room and down the hallway to where their bedroom was. Father's head had been almost totally decapitated. My mother's face was shot off. Of course, my 5-year-old had heard me screaming, so she already knew that something terrible happened.
We just had to tell them. We knew it had to be done before somebody else told them. We sat down and They love their grandparents, unbelievably how much they love their grandparents.
She looked at my sister and I and she said, "Your grandparents are dead. They've been murdered."
And he did it so viciously.
Like a struggle had ensued. There were no shoe prints, but they were both shot with a .22.
The same gun that was used in the Dale Okazaki case.
We get a hold of LAPD, same morning. He's done 2 crimes in the same night. I said, "Gil, look at this." There's a perfect Avia shoe print. There's another Avia shoe print on the step up into the living room. I'm in the head with a .22.
And then he sexually assaulted the wife, sexually assaulted the young boy as well.
We had the Avia shoe print. We had the .22, the MO that he was executing the male, sexually assaulting the female. Sexually assault 8-year-old boy. He was very traumatized, but she was very clear in what she remembered. It was very similar to Okazaki Hernandez.
I needed more evidence. I needed him to screw up. The only way he'd make a mistake was if there were more victims. We had called for a meeting of everybody involved to get everybody on the same page and notified that a case had happened that night. Home of Chris and Virginia Peterson. Virginia, just the left side of her nostril, and the bullet lodged in the back side of her neck.
Peterson gets up out of bed and chases him out of the house.
If I'd shot somebody point blank in the head and they kept coming after me, I'd run too.
It was a new gun. It was a .25 auto. Our crime lab, the firearms section, told us that's old ammunition. They said they don't make that anymore with that red primer.
I ran into some situations that were very precarious. If you do something so many times, it's bound to happen wrong sometimes. Any mistake by the killer or a stroke of luck by the police, they need to get inside the mind of a serial killer.
We knew he was reading the paper because in the Doi murder,
that call was released to the news media.
Phones were either taken or disabled.
Which told me whoever our suspect is, he's following the news.
This case here, this recent one, that shows the true colors of what this killer is all about. You know, what I meant was he's a coward. I had no idea who was going to be on the front page of the LA Times with a photograph.
You're a homicide detective on the biggest case in the world. You're maybe working 20 hours a day, and you can't be everywhere at once.
It's the only time in my entire life that I slept with a gun.
The same man is suspected in 6 to 8 murders and 25 to 30 attacks.
I'm afraid for everybody, elderly, young, everybody.
He's a weird-looking character. Somebody has to know him.
KNBC, our boss, named him the walk-in killer.
The so-called Valley Intruder Task Force continues its search.
The Herald Examiner called him the Night Stalker.
Californians have come to know him as the Night Stalker.
Today, the search for California's Night Stalker.
Picked out by the Night Stalker, and thanking God it wasn't them.
We were asleep, and the phone rang 2, 3 in the morning. Asking him, where did he hit now? And he told me, Diamond Bar.
Just a matter of 5, 6 minutes away. It was close.
It's too close to home. I was too afraid, and how could I protect my kids, myself there?
She says, "You're not going anywhere till me and the kids are gone."
And we walked out the door as a family. He got in his car and we went.
Smart.
Yeah, she was afraid. I'm nothing without my family. My family is everything.
Gil gets there first because he lived very close. There's a half-eaten honeydew melon still on the table. Dead husband with a gun to the temple. Same .25 caliber ammunition that we had seen previously at Peterson. The woman had been sexually assaulted. Don't look at me. And she says, I swear to God I won't. And he says, don't swear to God, swear to Satan.
So many people have walked through the crime scene. Captains, lieutenants, other people that were involved.
The victim was Elias Abouad, a 35-year-old computer engineer.
The sergeant was up there and he was telling these guys everything he knew about this case. The guy was really a weakling and he's really not that dangerous. First off, everything he just said is wrong. I said the man's extremely dangerous, he's done a lot of damage. And when I went back to the office, I said, we've got to do something. Make 23 tapes and get them out to the station so everybody's getting the same information. And so that's what we did.
As a male Caucasian or light-skinned Latin, 5'10" to 6'2" with a thin build, having medium-length brown hair that is wavier curve.
My partner, Inspector Carl Klotz, and I were called out to a crime scene. Mr. Pan had been shot in the head. Mrs. Pan had been raped, and she was also shot in the head. After the murder, the killer opened the refrigerator and then regurgitated on the kitchen floor and then masturbated on the living room carpet, carved a satanic symbol on the wall. He was cold and calculated and was trying to be as evil as he possibly could. The attention of Glendale PD down in Los Angeles. Slugs from the victims' bodies to see if ballistically we had a link. There's a red ring around the primary. Oh, bingo. We had a link. We'll be up there today.
Somebody on the assignment desk says, hey, there's been another murder in San Francisco.
God.
We went straight from the newsroom to Burbank Airport with the clothes we had on.
Look at that.
I don't think they were real happy to see us.
And hey, guys.
I believe there was a, oh, hi, Laurel, 500 miles away and doing the same thing. This is a statewide wave of terror. Guy washing his car. And I started talking to him. And I said, what do you do? And he said, I'm a police officer. Just like those cases in LA. All that shit written all over the wall. Nobody had mentioned anything to us in the LA cases about writing on the wall. This is Manson-like with writing on the wall.
Be a demonic, element to this. That really got people scared.
Stories from people who tell us that they found pentagrams painted on different parks.
Up inside the house, they're showing us everything. It's a second story. We had to walk up some stairs, get up there.
And it was Laurel Erickson.
She wants to know if Frank can come outside and talk to her.
We were in the game. We had a piece of information nobody else had.
I understand that there is writing on the wall in there that says Jack the Ripper, and that is one of the links.
Anything that comes from this case has to come from the San Francisco Police Department. Okay? Thank you.
His face did not show a thing. He's totally denying.
What step for you guys now? I'm gonna try and catch him, I guess.
Talked about the Avia shoe print, the description, just about every case.
This shoe, which has a U.S. patent on the sole, has a very distinct pattern of which there is no other alike. This information concerning his footwear remain confidential.
Night patrols increased tonight, especially in this neighborhood where a man was murdered.
The mayor's office would issue a reward for information leading to the arrest. Chief explained to the mayor of San Francisco, Diane Feinstein, a link to the Night Stalker.
Diane!
Someone that will go into a home at night and will kill. $10,000 reward for any information which can lead to his arrest and conviction. The same ballistics on, I understand, more than a dozen murders.
She just vomited all the really important information out to the public. She don't want to release information only the killer would know. Killer knows.
Good job, Feinstein.
The shoe print being left at the various crime scenes. Without a doubt, Mayor Feinstein made a big mistake. Feinstein did her thing. We never did recover those shoes.
Fuck it, Frank. Let's get out of here. This is bullshit. We had a drink with the captain. We were begging him, please, you got to get Sheriff Sherman Block. He's got to do something. Stop drinking, get something to eat, be back up in the office in 45 minutes.
Felt it necessary to disseminate to all law enforcement in the state of California that some of these agencies around the state have released some of that information. A week ago, we did not have a great deal to work on, but as of this moment, we have one heck of a lot left.
You took two men that are down and out, tired, put a smile back on their face, and they're ready to go back to work tomorrow morning.
It was almost 3 a.m. Sunday morning. A 29-year-old woman told deputies an intruder shot her boyfriend in the head.
The intruder grabbed her, he sexually assaulted her and tied her up.
Made certain comments, one of which was, I am the Night Stalker. Gone to San Francisco, left San Francisco, and come now back down into Orange County.
There's a young man that lived in the neighborhood that was working on a bike. He saw a car drive up.
The young man He recalls a partial plate of that vehicle. He had a friend who had a very similar car stolen recently in Chinatown. A partial plate that the young man down in Orange County had remembered.
76 Toyota station wagon, orange in color, license number 482RTN.
The Rampart area where the stolen car was spotted.
Dozens of detectives stake out the area, hoping the killer will come back.
We're able to pull a latent fingerprint off the rearview mirror.
We now have a live fingerprint, but we didn't know who the print belonged to at that time.
We had to wait until we got a suspect.
Damn!
What may seem very unimportant to someone else could be extremely important to us.
Said her father was sort of a street person. He had befriended an individual named Rick. One of the key things he told us was Rick had told him about a murder he committed in Monterey Park, a .22 semi-automatic pistol. He had gotten that pistol from Rick, and that he had taken it to Tijuana, recovered that gun, and they recovered a boombox or a big radio.
Lang's grandson bought the radio for them, and he still had the receipt with the serial number.
Rick probably was a killer.
Ooh, Rick.
Foreman by the name of Earl Gregg surrenders a bracelet, tells me he got the bracelet from his wife's mother. Told us that she got the bracelet from her boyfriend, named Armando Rodriguez. Wore a black AC/DC hat, wore a black members-only jacket, had bad teeth. Armando Rodriguez lives in El Sobrante, California. Next thing I see is Armando coming out of the house, walking toward me. We need you to help solve probably one of the biggest and most important cases in the history of the state of California. Now his tone changes. He's not the Night Stalker. I'm not helping you at all. We need the last name of your friend Rick. Do you understand me? Fuck you. So, you want to fight, you motherfucker, tough guy? And his hands come up, touches his cheek. Is that as hard as you can hit? Flash back on crime scenes. The pans, the vomit. I said, pretty boy, I'm gonna split you from the top of your head to your ass. Threw his hands up in a cross. Said, Richard Ramirez, Richard Ramirez.
Well, ooh, I like that. So, guys, we now got that situation. Yo, that boy was, yeah, you want to fight me, copper? Making up words. And that cop went to go deck him, and he told all the information. He said, Lord, squeal like a pig. But yes, so now we have this. Now they got his name. Let me tell you, this is one of the most scariest documentaries I've ever seen in my whole entire life, which is, I just started watching stuff like this. But this is a very scary, scary thing. This guy is one of the scariest guys. I'm telling you, out of all of the murderers that I have watched on here, this has to be the scariest one. He is scary, scary, scary. I don't think we ever had another person that was like him, nor do we need somebody like him. I think it would also be very hard nowadays to actually have a murderer going around murdering people just like how he was, because our technology has so much improved that, you know, it's going to be very hard for it to even last over 144 days like this guy was doing. This guy was just brutally, and for them to be showing these pictures, I think that's what's actually overall standing out over for me, is to actually be seeing these pictures of these people who were murdered, and the way these people were murdered, and their bodies just laying there. It is extremely uncomfortable to watch. I'm actually very interested into finding out how they really do capture this guy. I think I want to watch this as soon as, I'm just not going to say that, because every time I say I'm going to watch this as soon as humanly possible, it always takes the longest. But no, I promise you, I will be wrapping this up. We only have one more episode to go, guys. Is it one more episode? Hold on. I don't want to be a liar. I don't want to be a liar. Yeah, one more episode. So I'm assuming they're not even going to go into the case or anything like that. They're just going to, the last episode is called Manhunt. So I'm assuming that's just how they capture this person. I don't know if they're going to get into the nitty gritties of what happens after they capture him, or how quick it's going to be when they do capture him. But this person thankfully was captured. Sadly, it took so long, and all of those murders, what was it, like 9 murders? Was it 9 murders we're up to now? But all of the assaults he did, it was over 35 assaults, and he was even attacking kids. At this point, I don't even look at an age or anything, because it's just brutal what he was doing. Brutal and disgusting. He was just gross. He was horrible. How do you eat food, throw it up, and then masturbate on the ground where you murdered? There was 2 dead bodies in like a room. It's just crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. It is scary, 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 and you have to always be on your guard. I don't know, over here in New York, I started to feel very unsafe, and that's why I started doing martial arts and getting back into the gym, because you never know with people. People are fucking, excuse my language, people are really out of control. They are weird, and you need to do what you need to do to protect yourself. You never know what another person is thinking. You never know you can pass somebody every day and not even know that they're fucking creepy crawlers and doing creepy or being murderers. You don't know anything about people that you pass every day. You know how many people pass this person or had a conversation with this person and they didn't know that he was the killer? That's scary. So yeah, you never know, child. So, hair flip. You better do what you gotta do, y'all. It's crazy, too, because I also think right now how many people have guns and stuff like that, you know, and obviously back here, when this guy was running rampant on the streets of California, a lot of people seem like they didn't have guns, because everybody's talking about they never had guns, they're gonna pick up guns now, they're over there trying to learn how to do this, that, and the third. And he was obviously hitting a lot of, like, Spanish and Asian communities. Like, there was like 2 white Caucasian people, but overall it's been all Asian and Latin people only that he was like murdering and assaulting. No ma'am, no thank you. Guys, we're gonna be wrapping this episode up. Maybe if I have time, I could do it on Saturday, and we could wrap up this show all together so we can get into some other documentaries. I need to be putting out more documentaries. Listen, child, I just got back to work, y'all, so I was on my little break vacation, but getting back to work, these crazy ass hours, and then trying to do YouTube, it is taking a toll. It's going right back to being tired again. So we're going to try to do as much as we can, put out as much of these contents as we can. I want to bring as much, even documentaries, not just about serial killers, because this is kind of creepy for me, but even other documentaries that Netflix does have, or Hulu. Actually, I really just like Netflix, that I could be able to put more out on this channel. You know, there's so much content to cover in so little time. I hope you guys really do enjoy this reaction. I hope you guys are hitting that like button and sharing this video. Please subscribe if you are already not subscribed, and I will see you next time with more The Night Stalker.